number one. I am serving you for dinner.
Oh.
What are you called, and what do you look like?
I'm called the banana, and I look really good.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Peel me.
Later, Bachelor One, later.
Paula Shapiro was only the very beginning of a long series of murders and assaults committed by Rodney Alcala.
In 1969, the FBI put Rodney Alcala on its most wanted list.
We've got to find this guy. We've got to get him off the streets. We've got to bring him to justice.
I said, let's go see her. He said, we can't do that. I said, that's my baby. Of course I can see her. Why not? He said, because it took us 3 days to identify her. I said, what's wrong with you people? How many little girls with long blonde hair disappeared that it took you 3 days? He shook my shoulders, and the tears were coming down his face too. He says, there was no hair.
He was a violent sex offender on parole when he abducted 13-year-old Julie J. Yet this time, he was only convicted of a parole violation, furnishing marijuana to a minor.
He wouldn't be able to do that today. But the system is different then than it is now. The system is tightened up, and it wouldn't be possible today to do what he did.
Alcala was probably aware that the system was treating him far better than he deserved.
You know, I think Rodney did feel he would never get caught. He got away with it in 1968, and, you know, was 3 years on the lam before he was captured in New Hampshire, and he got basically a slap on the wrist for the viciousness of which he attacked Tally Shapiro. And then he went back to prison on a parole violation for trying to give marijuana to a 13-year-old girl.
In February 1980, nearly 1 year after Robin Samsoe's murder, Rodney Alcala went on trial.
Over the course of 2.5 months, there were almost 50 witnesses that testified. It was a very long, very difficult case.
The jury convicted Alcala and sentenced him to death.
It's a poor exchange for my daughter's life, but maybe it'll save someone else's by him being gone.
But the relief would be short-lived.
Today, in a 5-1 decision, the California State Supreme Court ruled that Rodney Alcala did not receive a fair trial.
The decision would devastate Robin's mother, but the fight for justice was far from over.
You know, there's only one perpetrator, that little stone, but the ripples keep going, and there's victims and victims and victims and victims.
Well, I like bananas, so I'll take one.
Number one. That's your number one. All right.